go 3, 2, 1.
Are you tired of filter socks? We are. We finally got the new NanoMat for this Max Nano G2. These things are awesome. These socks sucks. You know why? Because everybody gets busy. When you forget to change the filter socks, all the waste gets back into the tank. And that's when your nutrients get high in the tank. With this new NanoMat, there's a sensor, it's a filter roller, it actually filters your water. I'm actually gonna show you guys a how-to. This is actually gonna be my first time setting it up. Before I get started, I really wanna thank Red Sea and my rep, David, for giving us the first one. It means a lot. They want me to do a video on it, even though my videos aren't the greatest. Really, thank you. Let's get started. Just to let you guys know, Red Sea actually makes 4 ReefMats now. They make a Nano, they make a Red Sea 250 roller mat, 500 and 1200. Each one is designed for a certain Red Sea tank. You can also use it for other tanks, but it does take a little customization because with the ReefMats, they actually designed it for their Red Sea tanks. With other sumps, you may have to do cutouts or change the PVC size, but no worries, I'm here, I can help you with that. So let's get started on this build. One important thing, always read the directions. I've had people that just look at the pictures. There's actually certain ways on how the mat should go. But let's see. I like to lay out everything before I get building on things, usually. So this looks like the power supply. This looks like the adapter to go into that to keep it upright. This looks like the roll for the roller mat to go through. And this looks like the motor. So let's start reading the directions. First thing, hook up the motor. You gotta hear it click, so make sure it's locked in. This is the sensor. This is what is gonna tell the roller mat to roll. So how this works is the water level will rise and that will activate the roll. So you don't have to worry about it. There are other companies that try to make roller mats where there's no motor and you gotta hand roll it. That's the same idea as a filter sock. It's just not efficient. What if you get busy at work? What if you go on vacation? It's super hard. One thing cool about all the roller mats is you put in the size of the rolls and it will tell you when it gets dirty. Like on my Red Sea 1000 up front, it tells me 5 days ahead before you gotta change out the roll, which is awesome. Rolls take about 10 to 15 minutes to change. With the rolls, they actually last about 2 to 3 months. For my Red Sea S1000, it lasts about 3 months. For this system, since you're getting it started, it'll probably last you maybe a month just because it has to get all the debris out of the system. So now we'll get the cord in, we'll get the sensor in. You gotta hear it click. Feed the cord through. Perfect. And next it wants us to put the roll through. Setup's actually pretty easy on this. So, you feed it through, up and over. Now this is when the directions get tricky, feeding the roll. Sometimes if you feed it in backwards, it actually starts to roll backwards, it actually unravels. So you really gotta make sure. But in the end, even if you did hook it up wrong, it's just changing the other direction, super easy. Fold. Up. The trick for a lot of these roller mats is when you're putting the roll in, leave a little slack here so you don't over tighten it. A lot of people put it a little too close, just like that. And then when the roll starts to work, it actually releases the whole roll. So you actually want to give it something, a little bite for it. Pretty much goes back over. It looks like laying this down will be actually easier to work on so it doesn't unroll, but you can just tighten it back up a little bit. Just like so. Looks like everything's hooked up. You can always run a test run on the roll too to see and see if it starts to roll. So it just starts rolling just like that, as you guys can see. It looks like there's a cap to go on it. Again, laying it down will be easier. It looks like there's a little groove for this cap to slide on. Red Sea makes everything really easy. They really think about the product and everything, so you won't be hooking it up backwards. Just like that. Now you can really see it in action when it starts working. Just like that. And then once the motor goes down, and that's it. And this clips down and locks it in place. And now this is all installed. So, as you guys can see, this Red Sea is cycling. Everything is doing great. I have 2 fish in there. I have a yellow chorus wrasse and a carpenter's wrasse. I did put 2 corals in there just to see how everything's doing. There is polyp extension. Everything's looking good. Again, you gotta cycle the tank. I mean, everybody thinks you can get this going fast. This tank's been going for probably about 2 months now. I'm still taking it very slow. I don't have the skimmer plugged in just yet. Probably soon, just because the nutrients on it are so low. I am testing the water daily. Everything's looking great. I should be putting some corals in about a week or 2. So stay tuned for that. We just hooked up the NanoMat, installed it. Now we're gonna be installing in the tank. Red Sea is surprising me again. They actually have the 4-inch sump drop in, and they have it for all the Max Nano G2s. We're gonna be doing this install, but it's awesome that they actually came up with something where it can replace a 4-inch filter sock. So we're gonna try that out next, but we're gonna be doing this install first. So let's get started. We're gonna be hooking up the Max Nano G2 NanoMat onto this. First thing is we gotta take out all the old stuff. This was what I was talking about. This is just a week. Look at all that waste. When you don't change it out, that just goes back into the system because everything gets clogged here. So the water will just rise and it has to come out. So it's just gonna come out the top. So it's really not filtering the water anymore. There's also a cap that you gotta take out. And everybody always says the tank's so clean, but yeah, just look at that. It's so dirty. So here comes the install. So most important thing in the picture, this is facing out. Dang, look at that. Look how clean that is. So let's get it powered on. So the install is done. Super easy installing the tank. This one's actually not on the ReefMat app, which is good. I mean, maybe later in the future it will, but they actually have a button where you can just test run it to make sure everything's working correctly. Super easy. yeah, we're done. Let's see how it works. I'll give you guys an update in about a month to see how everything's going in this tank. Thanks for watching the video.